Hello guys, I'm really happy to see you guys over here. So in this video we'll talk about multi-line code. So there might be times where you need multiple lines of code in a single line. Let me just give you an example. So first of all, we'll just create a new file called multicode.py and add in the as usual the first line for Linux users. And what is multi-line code? If I have to write like a big line of code in a single line, so for example, if I have a long line, how to change it into new line, but interpreter should consider it as should treat it as a single line. So usually what happens is, if you have a long line of codes, for example this is a long line and you cannot see the end part of it, so you need to do it as a multi-line code, but at the same time interpreter should actually treat it as a single line. So over here it is treating it as multiple lines, but we need the interpreter to treat it as single line. As you can see, it is green. A single line is green, but once we add this thing in a new line, we get an error. So how this is possible? In Python we have something known as slash, which you can use this slash, and you can write multiple line code. So let's take an example, and this is available in any programming language made by Python or C# or anything. So for example, I have a big code over here, the value of y, and if I just give in the slashes over here, and if I do like this, you will notice that it works. Either you can do this thing, you can do plus, this works only on print. I know this is kind of confusing, but just try to understand what I'm doing over here. I'm just adding up a plus. So let's just change this and let's print it. And the problem is basically because of the interpreter. I have not changed the main file, so it's problematic every time I have to change this. So now if you can see, it is treating it as a single line, though we have the value and of y in different files in different lines, but still it is printing it as single line. So how this works? So actually Python treats the slash as a new line, so you can either add these things, and if we directly do this, we'll get an error. So we get an error because of this thing. So once you add a slash, it will treat it as a single line. It is treating 6 and 7 as only 6. So that's how it works.